Hi everyone, my name is Father Sam Kachuba and welcome to Faith Friday. A little break right now from some of the other videos that I've been doing. Those videos have usually featured another person talking about some fun issue relating to our faith and particularly to evangelization. I got to make those videos while I was at the Seek conference in Indianapolis in early January. But I wanted to talk today about something a little bit different. Since I came back from Seek, I've actually spent a lot of time visiting in the hospital and celebrating funerals. January was actually a really tough month. A lot of time spent in the hospital, in particular with Monsignor Ernie Esposito, who's a priest of our diocese who lived here at St. Pius with me and with Father Tim Iannacone, and who got very sick and who passed away. He's a wonderful priest, and it was a real privilege to accompany him in his final days. But I was really moved also by his whole approach to being sick and to being hospitalized. And then since his death and since his funeral, we've just had a slew of other funerals here. It's been really kind of wild. But I've been so moved by how people handle their grief, how they enter into that time of real sadness, but also the beautiful support that comes to help people who are in a moment or a time or a season of intense grief and sorrow. February 11th is the World Day of Prayer for the Sick in the Catholic Church. February 11th is also the Feast of Our Lady of Lourdes. And if you've ever been to Lourdes, you know that Lourdes is a site of great healing. It's a site of great hope. When Our Lady appeared there to St. Bernadette, she revealed a spring. And there in this spring of water that was just kind of flowing up miraculously from the ground, there have been so many healings that have taken place there. And so people go to Lourdes every year on pilgrimage to seek healing, to ask the Lord to help them. And so often through Mary's intercession, those healings are granted. And if they're not granted in a physical way, there are spiritual healings that come as a result. So World Day of Prayer for the Sick is February 11th, also the feast day of Our Lady of Lourdes. And as I've been reflecting on what this last month has been, the amount of time spent in the hospital, the amount of time spent talking to doctors and nurses, the amount of time sitting by the bedside of people who have been through some real suffering, the amount of time spent with grieving families. I'm really moved. I'm moved by the privilege that it is, number one, to be there in those moments, but moved also by the great faith that so many people have. And I want to encourage you, if you're suffering, if you are sick right now, know that there are great people out there who love you, who support you, and who are caring for you. If you are helping to care for a sick loved one or relative, know that you are not alone. If you're seeking healing, whether it's a physical or an emotional healing, I want to encourage you, turn to the Lord, turn to Our Lady for her intercession. If you help those who are suffering, if you're a doctor or a nurse, you work in the medical profession, if you work in counseling services, if you work in the funeral industry, whatever it might be, wherever you are, you're offering a great service to so many people, and they need you. So I want you to be encouraged in the work that you do. See, in our lives, there's going to be times of suffering and pain. In our lives, there's going to be times of great joy and hope. Wherever we happen to be in this particular moment, we need to know that we're not alone, that God accompanies us. He goes with us. Jesus Christ wants to enter deeply into every single situation that we might find ourselves in. By His power, we will get through. By His power, we will find healing and peace. So on February 11th, I encourage you, please pray for those who are sick. Please pray for those who care for the sick. Please pray for yourselves too. And maybe February 11th can be a day when you visit a sick relative or friend. Maybe it can be a day that you stop by your local nursing home and just make a visit to those who are in need of a friendly face. It can be a day for you to recognize that as you care for the people around you, you're accompanied, you're loved, and our Lord goes with you. And Mary's intercession lifts you up, always closer to the heart of her Son, who wishes only to bring us peace and healing. God bless you.